Hey guys, it's Iona with Vegan Legacy coming to you with another video. And this one is a little bit different. It's not a recipe video and it's not typically on the topic of veganism, but it does include community, and vegans, we are a part of community. We are not a people who is separate from other people just because other people eat meat. You know, we're not haters, right? Love. It's all about love. So we're here to talk about, this is a ministry deal, and it has to deal with communities and a lot of great stuff. We are going to do an interview with Perla Moreno, and I just butchered her name. And so I will let her introduce herself properly. I'm just doing a little intro. Grace and more grace. Well, I love you guys to life.
Hi,
Here's
everybody.
Perla.
My name is Perla Moreno, and I am glad to be here with Iona.
And so, Perla, tell... Sorry, guys. You know how it is with working with me. So here we go. Perla, tell us about your journey. You know, why Christianity? A lot of people want to know, why do people want to be Christians? So why did you give your life to Christ and become, quote, a Christian? And, you know, why do you believe in Christianity, and what has Christianity meant to you? And then just share a journey about the ministry school, because you will be going off to Bethel, and just share your heart and just let us know.
Yeah, well, that's a really loaded question. I'll try to make it short. I grew up in church, actually, in the Christian church, since I was 2 years old. That's all I knew up until I was 17. I actually got kicked out of church, and it was because, unfortunately, there's a lot of false religion within Christianity. I mean, every religion, but I unfortunately encountered a lot of negative things in the church, a lot of hypocrisy, a lot of abuse, a lot of manipulation by the leaders. And so I rebelled against Christianity, against God, against anything that had anything to do with Christianity. I hated by the time I was 17, and I got kicked out because I pretty much confronted the leader, and he didn't like it, and he kicked me out. So that was the best thing that had happened to me at that time, I thought. And I swore off Christianity forever, had wanted nothing to do with it. For 8 years I didn't, but I always knew there was a God. That was definitely not a question. I just thought he was a very angry, very unjust, very mean, kind of a psychopath God, because that's what the image that was painted to me in church, that's what that was. So I was very spiritual in the sense that I did know that there was a spirit realm out there. I just didn't want anything to do with him, with God. So long story short, I've always had a lot of spiritual experiences, and I've always been very aware of the spirit realm, sensitive to it, so I could never run away from it. And I actually could hear God speaking to me. I ignored it, and I just didn't want anything. I literally would tell God, leave me alone, let me live my life the way I want to, and I would rather go to hell than serve you, because I thought he was a horrible God. But God didn't give up on me. He literally, I mean, he pursued me, he cornered me until I surrendered to him. And that was 2007, December of 2007 was when I finally gave up, and I was in a really bad place. I was spiraling down the more that I lived without God, just the worse that my life got, that I got. I started doing things that I never ever thought I would do. So I knew I had to do something, because if not, I would be another statistic, another, typical um, lost person that totally went off the rails. So I decided to give my life to God. And ever since then, it's been the most amazing, wildest, crazy, awesome adventure of my life. I literally, I mean, I know this sounds cliche, but I didn't start to truly live until I gave my life to God, because He is life. He is our eternal life. He is our source of life. And so I thought I was living, but until I tasted the true life, I realized, oh my gosh, I was completely dead. I was, so yeah, that's kind of a very, very short answer to that question of how I got.
Yeah, so what was it for you that said, okay, like, God, like, you're real, I believe Jesus is real,
Yeah.
I mean, what was it? Were you just sick and tired of being sick and tired? I mean, what really?
Yes, it was, a lot of it was, I was sick of my life. I was so fed up and I knew I had to change, but because I had that whole thing of like, yes, I believe in God, but I don't know what He is. I went through the whole, I tried I studied every major religion of the world because I'm a nerd.
Very cool.
And so I studied Islam, I studied, of course, Judaism and Hinduism and Buddhism, and even like, oh gosh, now I'm, the Baha'i religion, and all these other things, and there were a lot of positive things in them, but I mean, for me personally, I just knew in the very core of my being, I knew that regardless of what I felt about God, like, I just knew Jesus was real. And I did. I studied every religion, but at the end of the day, I just knew. And so anyway, when I finally did give my life to God, it continued my education in Christianity, because I'm the type of person that I want to know what I believe and why. And I don't want to believe because my parents believed it, because everybody else is saying to believe it. I want to know for myself. So I actually went to college, secular college, and I studied Christianity. I studied who wrote the Bible. I studied, just from a secular point of view, because I really wanted it to be objective. And God just completely wrecked my world. He revealed Himself through everything that I was studying, even to the point where I took a class on who wrote the Bible, and they just laid out how pretty much the Bible has been tampered with, and all kinds of things have been done to alter it, and they have proof and all of these things. And it was a point in my faith where I was like, okay, God, what is this? Like, how is this true? But how is it your word infallible? And so I had to wrestle. I wrestled with a lot of questions, but I asked them. A lot of people are very afraid to ask the hard questions. And I think you really can't get to a very deep foundational faith if you don't answer those, if you don't ask those questions and are willing to for Him to answer those questions. And I didn't go to people. That's, I think, another really big point. I went straight to God, because I had my family is just full of all kinds of different religions and ideas and ways to look at the world, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna go crazy if I listen to all these people. So I shut myself in my room and I was like, God, I want you. I know there's a God, and I know you're real, and I want you to show me who you are directly. I'm not gonna listen to anybody else. I just want the truth. And He did. He completely revealed Himself to me, and I just I asked Him the hard questions, and He showed me the answers. And like the Bible question, pretty much He said, yes, it is possible that there has been tampering with the Bible. People have, messed around with it and blah blah blah, but my word is not ink on a page. It's spirit and it's life. It transcends any human tampering, any human force. And I am God, and I am capable of revealing my truth to whoever wants it through that word. And so you just have to trust that I can do that, and I will do that, but you have to trust. And that's something that I learned about God, is he absolutely wants us to believe before we see and we understand, because if our tiny finite human brains could comprehend the entirety of God, he wouldn't be God. He absolutely goes beyond what we can ever understand. So he is telling us, hey, I'm God, I'm infinite, and there's no way you're going to get this with your brain. So you have to choose out of your will to believe things that you don't understand with your brain, so that then I can give you the capacity to understand it with your spirit, man, and your heart, and then your brain will catch up. But and it did, you know, after it's a different type of knowledge and understanding. Human understanding is completely different than spiritual understanding, and that's what I learned too, is spiritual understanding is so much more amplified than our human understanding. And so you can only access the spiritual understanding when you make that decision of, okay, God, I've tried everything on my own, my life, how I want it, and I've tried to understand with my brain, and nothing makes sense. So I choose to trust you and to believe, you know, that you are God and you transcend everything on this earth. And so you show me the truth, and you know, I'll follow you. And so that's what it took for me. Once I made that decision, it's like my eyes were completely opened, my spiritual eyes, and I was able to understand all these questions that I just could not before, when I was trying to understand it with my human mind and reasoning.
Man, that's fantastic. Awesome. Okay, so now you're getting prepared, and you're raising funds to go to ministry school. You're inviting people to partner with God's heart, and to come alongside you for ministry training at the school at Bethel, correct?
Yes.
And so tell us about that.
So it's been 9 years coming. When I gave my life to God, I always had a sense, I always knew that I was meant to do full-time ministry, but because I have issues, you know, everybody has issues. One of my biggest issues was I absolutely just hated the idea of asking people for money for a living. That's how I, you know, like fundraise, you know, support raising. I couldn't make myself accept that. And so I was like, I can't do that, you know. And so, but I've always had a deep desire to go to ministry school. But God just kept closing the doors for 9 years. And now I realize it's because I wouldn't let go of that lie of, oh, I'm going to be living off of people. And that, because it was pride, you know, I didn't want to ask people for money. I'm very independent. I'm very self-reliant. I have been. And that's just an area of my life that I had not surrendered to God. And God cannot do certain things if we don't surrender those things to him. So he's limited in what he can do in our lives if we don't surrender. So I finally surrendered. Like this past year, I got so desperate that I finally did, and that's when he just completely opened the doors, and he just has rewired me in an amazing way. And so now he has opened that door, and I'm going for it, and I am doing something that I always said I would not do. And don't get me wrong, I don't think that I'm going to do this forever. Like, I just need a jump start, you know, because I have been so stubborn and, you know, all of that. So I do need, I'm just asking for a year of support and kind of help.
Tell us about Bethel. What is Bethel for those who've never heard about Bethel and their school?
Yeah. Oh gosh, Bethel. Ooh, Bethel is it's this ministry. It's just a really big ministry. It includes a church, but it's worldwide. It's a global ministry that has completely changed my life. Because they are real. I mean, not that nobody else is real in the Christian world, but it's just a different flavor than what I've encountered before, and it aligns to who I am. Bethel aligns with my spiritual DNA, and where I feel like the Lord is leading me. So they are huge on impacting the world, whereas traditional church mindset is make the world come to us and conform to us, and Bethel is all about no, actually Jesus sent us into all the world to be like leaven, to influence and spread.
So they would like spread the gospel message, but also just through like ways. How do they spread the message? Is it a lot of serving and just loving people to life and like?
So yes, they train, which the school, that's what it's for. They train people to practically walk out what it looks like to walk in the kingdom of God, and bring the kingdom of God to wherever, be it your business, your marketplace, your work, government, Hollywood, arts and entertainment, politics, like anything. The lid is off, and they just want to do everything they can to equip you and send you into wherever God has created you to go into. So whether that's the church, or actually their focus is not on the church, it's on everything else. So they train you up by helping you to understand who you are and even discover what you were created to do and be, and then they give you the tools to go do that. So Bethel has like accounting classes. They have like all kinds of very specific classes to what you feel called to, and they tell you, okay, this is how you bring a prophetic word in a boardroom when you can't like shababa, like you can't do certain things that are go against the culture, because that's what I love about Bethel is they have such an honor atmosphere, and they're all about, like, Christians in the past have wanted to kind of take over in a very abrasive, like, non-loving way, disrespectful even, and so Bethel teaches you to kind of flow with the culture that's already there without dishonoring it, but also without compromising. Kind of like Daniel and Joseph. They're really big on Daniel and Joseph, and how Daniel was able to pretty much go to the most secular school in his time and work for one of the most evil men in history, in the history of Israel. And I love him without compromising his own faith and beliefs. And so pretty much that's what they teach and train in modern day. How does that look? What does that look like, and how do we do that?
That's beautiful. So which part of the classes would you be taking? Like, what are you gonna like major in while you're there?
Well, there's not a major. They don't give degrees. It's not credited. But to me, I have a degree, and honestly, it really hasn't amounted to much in my life. So there are specialities. I personally plan to focus on media and communication, and I don't know if they're going to offer this year, but if they do, I definitely want to also focus on reaching the Spanish-speaking community. in the world, the Spanish-speaking world. That's what
Fantastic. Can you say a little Spanish to any Spanish viewers out there?
Hola, mi gente. Los amo mucho. Que Dios me los bendiga mucho.
Beautiful. Translation for the English viewers?
I just said, hi, my people. I love you, and I bless you.
Oh, so sweet. Okay, continue.
So, yeah, Bethel. So, I'm going because I finally realized that I am not going to be good as impactful in this world until I know who I really am, who God created me to be. And Bethel is like a intensive boot camp to discover that, your identity, and then to start walking that out. And so I feel like I've wasted a lot of my life being stubborn and, you know, limiting myself in God. And so now I have finally really surrendered my entire life to God and said, okay, I'm going to go to this school. And God told me, leave it open. Don't kind of put it in a box. Or yes, there's some things that I feel like I'm called to, but he said, you know, let me do what I'm going to do, be open to anything. And that's what I'm doing. I'm going to the school to get trained, but ultimately I am completely surrendered to him and open to whatever he calls me to do. Whether that's to go into the Spanish-speaking world and really like minister to that group of people, or wherever. I'm completely open, and my life is like, I'm selling everything. I'm leaving my career. I'm in my 30s. I'm not young. So I am literally like uprooting everything, leaving everything behind that I've ever known, and saying, God, here I am, send me. And whatever that it looks like, I'm down. So
that is awesome. Okay, so legacy, you know, my channel's called Vegan Legacy, and we talk about, you know, everybody's got a legacy to live. So what is the legacy that you want to leave when your time is up on earth?
Oh man. I think the first thing that just came to my head is I want to inspire people to truly not settle for anything less than what God created them to do and to be. Because I've experienced what it is to live outside of that, and it's the most horrible, agonizing thing for a human being. And there's so much more that God has, and I just want to inspire people to go for it and to not settle for less, to truly trust God with all of their being, and love him and love people. And that can look like a lot of different things, you know, but at the core of it, that's what I desire. So
guys, this is Perla and me. iPhone, man. iPhone's got to come with the flip around. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. We will put in the link below. Where's my little finger? Yeah, you know, everybody does that little finger thing, right? In the link below, we'll put her contact information so they can partner with you, right?
Yes. If you feel led to support my journey, click on the link below, and it'll tell you student name. You type in my name and follow the prompts.
Okay, so in the link that we're going to put below, will that also, like, say if they want to partner with you and do a monthly partnership, can you tell them about that?
Yes, I really need monthly partnership. Email me. My email is P as in Peter. I'm sorry, it's my last name, Moreno, Perla07@gmail.com. So that's MORENOPERLA07@gmail.com.
And that will also be in the link below, because if you're a little special like me, I need it below so I can copy and paste. It makes it so much easier.
Yes.
Well, thank you for Perla.
Thank you so much.
Perla, for coming on.
Amazing.
Ooh. Thank you. Got some encouragement.
One of my favorites.
I love Perla. I've just seen her grow since I've met her. We've gotten to go on some adventures together, and it's been fun. And I'm going to miss her when she goes off to Bethel. But thank you guys. Seriously, you know, donate. It's a great cause. You know, sow into her because she's going to sow it back into the community. And just a precious young woman. And we love you guys to life. We bless you. Mwah.
Bye.